Hey everyone, welcome to Lip Rippin' Podcast. I'm your host, Ravien, aka Ravasaurus. Thanks so much for joining me. Good of you to come by, good of you to show up again. Um, Week by week, I know that, less and less of you are going to show up because you're going to realize what this whole thing's all about, which is good times. Um, Just kidding. That's not a reason for you not to show up. Anywho, here I am. It's pretty darn early in the AM. Not sure if any of you folks know this, but I do have a son who is quite young, a Mr. Cave, and Monsieur Coves likes to get up pretty early in the morning. Yes, the man's a fisherman already. And so, that being said, I'm kind of used to getting up at a stupid time in the morning as well. As though I was living on the river. Man, those would be weird. Like, when I was living on the river, when my dad wasn't there, you could say whatever you want to say about living in the bush and whatever. Me personally, dude, I went to bed, I went to bed early. I wasn't trying to stay up at midnight by the campfire by myself, you know what I mean? So I'd go to bed like, I don't know, it'd get dark on the river around like 9:30. I go to bed at like 10:30, just so that I could be up for first light and whatever. And so here we are again it's 5:30 a.m. At the homestead, not up at the river. And so here we are, and I just came down to give you fellow lip rippers a quick chat here, let you know what I've been thinking about recently. And it never changes. It's freshwater fishing, right? So the trout came in this season already. Not that I'm like some trout or salmon or crazy small river angler, but I'd say it's safe to say I'm getting into it, in that I like it, I like to know about it, I'm intrigued and interested in it. I've never caught a trout, I've never caught a salmon yet. You guys were probably hoping that I had caught one by now, but I haven't. But anyways, they're in, and it's the spring here in Ontario. And so, that being said, I was getting a little bit excited for, summer fishing, obviously. I still get excited no matter what, no matter how much years I've been fishing. When the season starts to break and the weather starts to turn, buddy, I'm all about it. I don't fish the ice as much as I should, and as much as others do in Canada. People out in Winnipeg and Saskatchewan and all that shit, those guys are fishing the ice way, way, way more than us, probably because there's ice there for longer. And so I kind of have the itch, but I came down to the basement the other day to take a look at my gear, because around this time is one of the times where I start to get really, really freaking hyped up, and I can't do it. I can't not set up my gear. you know but that being said, I came down and I was looking at my fishing stuff, some of which I've had for a long time, man. Like, I don't know, a lot of you guys may know this, but I've been trying to replace one of my favorite rods of all time, the Abu Garcia Impact. Man, I've been trying to replace that rod for like, I don't know, 7 years. And every time I buy a good one, it either breaks or busts or get lost, or only the reel is good, or whatever. And that's for so many reasons, but I say primarily the first and foremost reason is because back in the day when I was younger, like, man, I was in university and shit. You know, I really wasn't spending hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars on gear. And so when I came down to the basement the other day to set up my stuff, you know, I'm a man, I used to have like probably like, when we had the cottages, man, we had like 15, 20 rods. I'd say 10 of them were shit. 6 of them were really good because they were mine. One of them was probably good too because my dad had a really dope one piece. I guess the other 3 were also shit. Anyhow, I came down to look at my gear the other day and I was sadly disappointed. And I think I talked to you fellas about this, or you ladies about this last week, a million weeks ago. I had closed off the salmon run last season, hanging out with a couple of buddies by the bank, and all they were doing is talking about how important their gear is and how much gear they have, and how I'm a Shimano guy. Shimano never falters, this, that, and the other. The other guy said, I'm a Fenwick guy, or some shit. I don't know what he said. Whatever the hell he said, it didn't matter. Because I've had the same mindset I've always had. And everybody calls me a stubborn son of a bitch, and that's fine. I may be stubborn, I may be stupid, I may be whatever, but I'm still catching bigger fish than you mofos, and I always have been, shit gear or not. Let it be known. Whoa, I got real mad there. Holy shit, buddy. Hey, it's not even 6 a.m. and you're cursing and yelling at people. But anyways, I ended up buying a shitload of gear. I can't talk to you guys about it because it's stupid how much gear I bought. I'm in it, ladies and gents. We're talking hundreds of bucks. But I cannot wait till that UPS truck gets here. Boy, I tell you. I'm not one of those online shoppers, right? I don't online shop unless it's for Bass Pro sweaters or for fishing gear. So you want to talk about online shopping? I don't shop online, but I do for fishing gear. And I picked up a hell of a bait caster and a hell of a spinning rod combo, and maybe I'll tell you about it if I ever catch a fish off of it. So thanks for joining me on this week's episode of Lip Rippin' Podcast. Join me on another one. Please follow and like my Instagram page, and hit me up if you have any questions. I appreciate the time. Have a good one. Bye now.